AM Club, welcome to MenoLabs Live and happy Menopause Awareness Month. I hope you've had a great month celebrating and learning. Today we're going to be talking about dry skin during perimenopause and menopause. And with the cooler months outside, it can get even worse. A few months ago, we had on a guest, Nancy Valerio from Bare Aesthetics, and she shared a great test that I did at home where you wash your face and you don't put moisturizer on and you wait to see how your skin reacts. And let's just say my skin got dry. So I need this show today. But I'm so excited because our guest is a founder of a skincare brand that was created for our changing skin during perimenopause and menopause. So she gets it. Plus she's in peri. Oops, I let that out early, but she's in peri. So I love that even more. As always, the session should not be considered medical advice and is being provided for information purposes only. It is not intended to substitute professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Please consult with your healthcare provider should you have any questions or concerns. I'm going to invite in our guests now, but I would love it if you guys would share how you celebrated Menopause Awareness Month. For us, our team last week went to Life in the Pause in New York City and celebrated at that event, which was really amazing. It's so good to go in and celebrate with others during this month. But I don't want to delay this anymore. I'm going to let in the guest. There's going to be a bit of a delay. Let's see. Where are you? One second. Let's see where she is. We're going to be talking. Oh, there. Oh, hi, Dr. Maggie. Hi, Dr. Maggie. So good to see you. We're just waiting. There she is. Hey there. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. I'm so glad to see you. So
Thank
let
you.
me do introductions. I'm just
Okay.
getting excited to see you. My name is Natasha and I'm the community manager for MenoLabs. And this is our amazing guest today, Susan from Phosis. Welcome, Susan. How are you?
I'm excellent. How are you? And thank you so much for having me.
I'm great. What are you drinking today?
I am kind of basic. I'm just drinking water, room
Cheers.
temperature.
Right
Okay,
here with you.
cheers,
Room
right?
temperature too. I love room
Yes,
temperature
room
water.
temperature water.
And I love we're the curly girls today too.
We
I
are
have
the
to
curly
acknowledge that.
girls.
I
Yeah.
have to acknowledge that.
Yes, very humid where I live today, and I love it because I
Yeah.
get this big hair.
Oh, I'm just drying out here because it's getting cool, but I can't complain. So let's get started. I wanted to start with an introduction to everyone. Are you in perimenopause? And what symptoms have you experienced during your journey?
Yes, I am in perimenopause. I have been here for almost 10 years. I feel like I'm like the long haul of the perimenopause. I feel like I've had every possible journey. Unfortunately, I've been up since 2:30 in the morning with night sweats last night.
Oh
So
my
I'm
gosh, I'm
sure
so
you're going
sorry.
to hear me stumble over my words today.
Oh
I
no.
also have brain fog, which I know a lot of women out there can relate to. But the thing that drives me the craziest is that I'm one of those people with the itchy ears. So anybody else that has this, you can relate. If you don't have this, just be glad because it's like you want to claw your ears out. It is so frustrating.
So I've never experienced that, but I love that you highlighted that because we're talking about dry skin today. But dry skin, women can also experience, like me, the dry hair,
Right
the
here.
dry skin, the dry ears, the itchiness, all of that kind of comes up during perimenopause and menopause for women. So it's great that you shared that. I'm sorry you're dealing with it though.
You have to laugh about it, right? And so I hope
Yeah.
other women can laugh about it with me. Like you'll see me just like sort of clawing in my ear. It's really frustrating, but
I almost felt like it's something where you, in your peri kit, you'd want to carry a Q-tip just to kind of get that itch sometimes.
something, right?
Yeah, yeah. You have such an interesting background. Can you share how your experience in yoga and skin expertise led to this space? Because I love that you do a variety of things in your background that kind of developed into what you're doing at Phosis.
Yeah, it was really interesting for me because I've spent my lifetime strengthening muscles and bones,
Mm.
specifically for women 55 to 85. The niche that I've worked with in teaching yoga and Pilates was for those women that were in menopause. And as we know, it is so important to build bone strength
Yes.
and to maintain muscle strength or even build more muscle strength. It is never too late to address these issues in your own life. And so as I went through perimenopause and my own skin just became a wreck, I learned the importance of strengthening skin as well.
Oh, I
And that
love
was
that.
something that I was not finding. And so for me, the through line was, why are we not strengthening our largest organ?
Yes, I love that perspective. So true. And so then how did Phosis come to be? So you were doing yoga, you realized skin changes, and you were like, what do I need? And you
Yes,
created.
very much. What do I need? Because my skin was so bad that I had like eczema patches
Mm,
that would itch so badly they would bleed.
yeah.
And so, people look at me and they're like, "Oh, you have such lovely skin. There's no way." But my skin was red. It was blotchy. I had strange
Mhm.
rashes that would come and go, and I
So
didn't
true.
understand what was behind it.
Yeah.
And then it got really dry. And I was never a person that spent time with skincare. I just sort of like bought whatever like my friends were using or my mom was using. I never had any problems with my skin. And all of a sudden, I hit my early 40s and it just all changed. And I became really sensitive to fragrances and perfumes
Oh
and
my
even
goodness.
essential oils, right? Which we think of as natural ingredients, and they are. But
Yeah.
to me, just because it was natural didn't mean it was the right fit for my skin. And so I decided to think like, could I just make my own skincare? You know?
So
And
amazing.
so that led me on a deep dive to researching ingredients, which is also how I started to learn more about barrier repair and the importance of barrier function and how that changes as our estrogen levels change in perimenopause and menopause, leading to somewhat weaker skin. And then I was trying out all of these products like drugstore products or even products that my dermatologist recommended, and they didn't help either. And I found out that a lot of those ingredients that were supposed to be helpful or were for anti-aging were actually doing my skin like no favors. It was actually making it worse. And so I thought, okay, what's going to rebuild skin? Because it wasn't for
Mm,
me about anti-aging and it wasn't about erasing
yes.
the fine lines and wrinkles. It
Yes,
was about restoring and replenishing my skin. And so
definitely.
those were the ingredients that I looked for. And then I hired cosmetic chemists to help me formulate incredibly clean products because I found out I was also allergic to propylene glycol,
Oh,
which if you haven't looked
no.
at your skincare products, it's in not everything, but it's in a lot of things. So I found out just had really sensitive skin and I wanted a solution for it.
Oh
So
my
I
goodness.
hired cosmetic chemists and I spent about 5 years in research and formulation to come up with incredibly clean, incredibly safe products that I had tested in a variety of ways.
It's so interesting. Also, I just want to go back to this. So many women think that they're not in perimenopause because they haven't experienced a hot flash. But like you said, you went through and you had eczema and changes in your skin
Oh
and you
my
had all
gosh.
these struggles. And nobody necessarily will
Mhm.
point to those as symptoms of peri, but it is like essentially it's this reaction. And like you said, you had to find something to help with that because what else is out there? I don't know. Like,
Yes, I had gut issues. I had skin changes. I had changes in my hair. And I went to see my OBGYN. I went to see my primary care practitioner. I went to see my dermatologist. And the people that even bothered to ask if I was still cycling,
yeah,
which here I am at 50, I'm still cycling
yeah,
practically normally, right?
yeah,
For better or worse, whatever that is. And so all these people in my early 40s were like, well, you're not in menopause,
yeah.
you cycle. So, and no one looked at that root cause that for so many women, these changes happen early and it can be very difficult to know what they are. And I'm so grateful that so many people are talking about this now.
So
So
grateful.
women
Yeah.
are hearing about it more and being able to recognize in their own lives, like, oh, maybe it's
Maybe there's a
perimenopause,
connection. Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Because you
Yes.
feel like you're going crazy. You're
You
like,
do. I so agree with that because there are just so many things. You're like, why is so much changing?
and
And
it's
I can't.
sometimes, yeah, it's sometimes hard to be like, oh, my joints are achy today.
Yeah.
But or my muscles are fatigued, or my energy level is just zero. So it's hard to explain that to a doctor of what your symptom is. You're just like, I kind of don't feel like myself.
Exactly. That's what I was just gonna say. That's what a lot of women feel like. There's just so many things, little things maybe happening, and it just all kind of comes to a head. So
Yeah.
yeah. But back to your product. I love the name Phosis. What's the story behind it? I would love for people to understand.
Right. So phosis is short for metamorphosis, right? So right then it's much easier to understand that I see perimenopause is this chrysalis moment for
Mm,
women. And then as we move in towards menopause, it's an opportunity to unfurl our butterfly wings because I was determined that menopause was going to be the best stage of my life. And I,
hmm.
again, really resented the messaging in society that menopausal women are old and dried up and no
Yeah.
longer have value. And I thought, I don't believe this, and
No,
I'm not going to stand for it. And I don't
definitely.
think other women should either. And so I was so inspired. The butterfly in itself is just a magical transformation from
Yeah.
that caterpillar to chrysalis to butterfly. And I really wanted that reflected in my company
That's
and in
so
my own life
beautiful.
personally as well,
Yeah.
right?
I love that. When did you realize that there was a gap in the skincare for women in perimenopause and menopause? I think it was when you were going through the struggle, but can you expand?
Yes, absolutely. It was in my early 40s because I had been using drugstore brands because you think I don't want to spend a lot of money, and then those weren't working. So then I started spending more and more money and using like the
Hmm.
department store brands and trying to search out the quote unquote premium brands. Even though
Hmm.
I could see that maybe I didn't agree with all the ingredients that were in there, I was just desperate for solutions. And those didn't help. And then I went to my dermatologist, begging, like, please help. I have this dry skin. I'm breaking out. And so they recommended products for sensitive skin that
Yeah.
didn't have fragrances, but also had ingredients that didn't mix well with my skin and my skin issues.
Yeah.
So it really just was a frustration of not being able to find what is incredibly clean, not just clean,
Yeah. Quote
but
unquote. Yeah.
exactly, but really clean, fragrance free, and with
Exactly.
something that was actually going to give lasting hydration. I was so frustrated trying to find moisturizers that by noon my face looked like it had dried out.
I
And so I thought, where's the product that actually is going to moisturize my face? And then on top of that,
agree
it was
with you.
important for how do we use ingredients to rebuild that barrier function?
Mm,
Because that's what was missing in a lot of the products that I had been looking at.
yeah.
Or fragrance free products smelled terrible, which is one
That's
of the
true
things that
too.
I think so many women don't understand is that those fragrances are in there is to cover up something that smells unpleasant.
Oh, that's interesting. That's a
Mhm.
really interesting point. And I can speak to getting allergies when I put on not fragrances, but product on my skin with a scent. I start crying instantly. It's so
Right.
irritating. And I'm just like, I know that it's been something I put on my face.
Right.
So
Or you
it's
can't get
really
away from
irritating.
it,
Yeah.
right? Like you put it
Yeah.
on your face and you're like, I have to smell this all day. Oh my gosh.
And I'm just going to cry all day, basically, too.
Right.
Going back, when you were talking about FOSIS, you brought up also anti-aging mindset. We're so aligned with that in MenoLabs, and we totally agree. So, can you talk more about what it means to love our aging skin instead of fighting it?
Absolutely, because menopause and perimenopause, the whole transition is a time of change, right? So
Mm.
your body is going to change. The shape of your body is going to change. Your
Yeah,
hair is likely going to change, and your
definitely.
skin is going to change also. And just because society has told us that our value is only when we look younger
Yeah.
or our body is shaped a certain way,
Yes.
to me, this was very frustrating because these are natural biological changes that we as women cannot stop, nor should we want to. We can't fight these
Yeah.
changes that are coming. So instead of believing, the hype in the marketing that we are less than by
Hmm.
going through a natural biological process, and so we have to strive for products that are going to quote make us happier
Yeah.
by making us look younger, it,
Yeah.
it just made me really angry. And so you are going to see changes to your skin. You are
Yes.
going to see changes to the shape of your body. You are going to see changes to your hair, to your mood, to pretty much everything. And these are normal. And so why not embrace these changes and
Yes.
welcome them? Because it's a rough transition,
Yeah. And it's a
right?
reflection of the great life you've lived. Like I've said too, I
Exactly.
think I've seen this somewhere that, the lines on your face are reflecting the smile you had, the smile, the laughter, the enjoyment of life. So, look at those laugh lines that you
Exactly.
love. Yeah.
Exactly.
So you have two products. What changes can they help with?
So the products are very much aligned with strengthening your skin because the stronger your skin is, the stronger your barrier function is, the more ability your own skin has to maintain its own moisture. So when skin cannot hang on to its own moisture, your skin is evaporating water off the surface of the skin. And that during the day can lead to an increase in the look in fine lines and wrinkles. So while I'm not an anti-aging company, I don't actually want to look older than I am either. I want products that meet my
Good
skin
point.
where it is. And so
Yeah.
for me, it was rebuilding that barrier function and strengthening to that. But of course, the products also help with some of the firmness and elasticity that women find as their skin changes, and also very much about brightening and restoring radiance, because I felt that glowing skin
We love
was not
glow.
related to fine lines and wrinkles.
Yes.
It was, there's some inner glow and also just having nice, even skin tone. But for me, that always came back to having strong skin.
Love that strong skin. So we're a science-backed brand. So we love what you're doing, your brand with your science-based products. What ingredients or formulations are you using at Phosis to set yourself apart from other brands?
So number one, again, back to the skin strengthening. So we have ceramides, phytosterols in the products to help rebuild and restore, but we also have a lot of antioxidants and anti-inflammatories that helps rebuild skin barrier. The number one ingredient in the face oil, which offers instant protection right as you put it on because it's an emollient, is jojoba oil. And this is actually a wax that is a
Oh,
liquid at room temperature. Most people don't know that.
I didn't
And
know that.
it most it's the plant botanical that most closely mimics our skin's own sebum. And so as we age, our ability for our skin to make that sebum really changes. And so I love being able to use this ingredient because it was going to be very closely mimicked to what our own skin would recognize.
Oh, really cool. Oprah claimed Phosis as the best night cream. Congratulations. That's so exciting. How did you find out and what did you do when you found out?
So this was a really exciting moment because we are a small brand. I am most of the brand. I'm the person that's like packing up your order and walking it to the post office
I
and
love that.
shipping it. I answer the help desk. Like we are doing most of it in-house here. And so to be just a small brand and go up against all of the big, large
It's
brands
really big.
and then win was just a moment, right? I just
Yeah.
never thought that this would be able to happen to us. And so I was at lunch with a friend when I got the email. And so I started crying.
Oh,
And so but it was tears of joy. And I know that the people at the table next to me thought something really bad had happened because
you're
I
like, this is
wasn't,
good.
it's good, but like I wasn't able to speak because I was so, so like I just took my phone and like passed it to my friend
Oh,
so she could read why I was crying. So
that's amazing.
yeah, thank
Congratulations.
you.
So dry, itchy skin is one of the top complaints, as we talked about at the beginning of the show, in perimenopause and menopause. What can women do to soothe, prevent this kind of dry skin? Because I know even not on my face, but my hands over the winter after washing starts to break and crack and starts to bleed. It gets so gross. So what do you recommend?
I recommend number one, looking at your cleanser. So
Okay.
we know the importance, or we have heard, through the rise of social media, the importance of a double cleanse.
Hmm.
This can be great when you're younger, but once you reach a certain point where for me, I would say about mid 40s, but it kind of depends upon person and where you live in the country because everybody's skin is a little bit different, but you
Hmm.
probably don't need to be double cleansing. And if you wash your face and it feels tight
Yes,
afterwards,
that's me.
you are over cleansing. The product that you
Oh,
are using
oh my
is
goodness.
probably a little bit more aggressive than you might need at this stage in your life.
Interesting.
So many women are over cleansing and not realizing it. I was guilty of this also because if you are over cleansing, you are actually helping to remove some of that beneficial oil that your skin makes.
Oh no.
Right, which again, over time leads to a change in that barrier function, which is already happening anyways because of the
Yeah.
shifting hormones. So that would be my number one tip for women. Go ahead, look at your cleanser, and you may need to switch to an oil-based cleanser
Oh yeah.
or a gel to milk or milk to gel, or just look for something that says gentle cleanser. But this is another tip. Most women don't understand that like the foaminess of a cleanser has
Mhm.
nothing to do with its ability to clean. So
Mhm.
we always think that like all the soap bubbles are like
Yes.
doing really good
Doing the
work.
work. Yeah.
You're going to need to not think that anymore. It is not true. And so, especially when it comes to your face, when you're in perimenopause and menopause, do not worry if your cleanser does not foam up a lot.
Okay.
Just look for a gentle cleanser.
So good to know. Cut back on the suds.
Yes.
What are some simple skincare routine tips women can start today?
So, again, take a look at your cleanser. And then
Mhm.
also, if you have a really extensive routine and you're
Yeah.
using a lot of different serums and a lot of different products and you're not sure what they're all doing, I would go ahead and just take a step back, minimize your routine, and make sure the products that you're using are actually supporting your skin. It can get really easy to get caught up in the hype that
Yes.
more is better, and I'm going to add this product, and I'm going to add that product, and there's so many influencers out there pushing
Yes.
products. It can get really hard to know, what does my skin need? And I promise you, your skin is talking to you. And we
Oh,
are
I love
taught
that.
as women not to listen to our own skin, but take time, listen to it. You may not need to wash your face twice a day. You
Hmm.
may need a heavier moisturizer. You may need a heavier moisturizer at night and a lighter one for the day. You maybe need a face oil where you would have never needed that at any other point in your life. So I would go ahead and take a step back, look at your products, make sure that they are things that you actually need and are not just hype that someone told you you should have.
That is such a great tip. There's so many options out there at the store. You can get overwhelmed. And then on social, like you said, you're listening and learning and you get excited. You want to try something, but it goes back to listening to your body. And it's, all different parts of your body you need to listen to. But I think this one is really speaking to me with listen to my skin because I've never really listened to my skin. So thank you for that. That's really great. I love that you're also a yoga instructor. I've shared that a couple of times. Can you share a lymphatic drainage massage that we can do for the skin right now? Ladies, join us here,
Yeah,
please.
join us here if you want to. It's really easy. I like to go ahead and take my first two fingers and just gently rub right next to my collarbone, slightly behind it. I'm not pressing very hard.
Oh, not pressing. Okay.
No, you're not pressing very hard. You're just bringing a little bit of circular motion, and then you can circle the other direction if you want to.
Okay.
And then I move to my neck, and you can use 2 or 3 fingers, and I just gently start massaging because we're working on that lymphatic system. And most people don't know that your lymphatic system does not have an internal pump. So the way to move your lymphatic system is to exercise or to
Oh,
move your
interesting.
body. And so now we're going to go back to those 2 fingers and work at the base of the ear, slightly behind them,
Okay.
because again, we've got a little bit of collection of lymph nodes here. So just trying to wake up those lymph nodes. And then I like to go ahead and go to my chin and just
Lightly.
very lightly
Okay.
move towards the base of the ear.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to go at the base of the nose, just out to the sides, back towards the ear. And
Mhm.
again, light pressure. This doesn't have to be anything super involved. I also do this with a dry brush, one of my favorite things
Oh, a
to
dry
do.
brush on your face?
I do it. I have a face brush, like at a
Oh.
mini dry brush or mini brush that I dry brush my face. And then you're
Oh.
going to go underneath your eyes. And so this is
Wow.
the same routine that I would do with a dry brush because it helps with exfoliating.
I love that.
And then again, it can help with the lymphatic system. And then I'm going to go to my forehead and then start in the center and just sweeping my fingers back down towards my ears. And I do this about 5 to 10 times. So it doesn't have to be anything really dramatic. And then I'm going to go back below my ears and pull down from the ears back towards the collarbones. And then that's it, my like mini
Wow.
face massage.
That was really refreshing. Thank you.
Sure.
So I will definitely be sharing that with everyone so you guys could do that at home. Where can women find your products?
We are available at our website, www.phosis.com. That's PHOSIS.com. And we're also available on Amazon. So if you need it tomorrow, you can order it over there.
Which is always great. And then I wanted to highlight for a limited time, we're doing a little kind of promo together where if you buy the Glow Restore bundle from MenoLabs, you will get Phosis samples to try out. So we're really excited about that. They'll be for a limited time, but stay tuned. If you purchase a Glow Restore bundle, you'll be getting that. sample. So stay tuned for that. Before we leave, though, I always love to go into the Peri Toolkit and see what our guests are recommending. So I wanted to see what essentials do you recommend for women in perimenopause and menopause to take care of their skin, besides
Sleep.
your amazing products?
Thank you. Sleep and diet.
Sleep
So we
and diet.
don't necessarily think that sleep is going to have an impact on our skin or our diet has an impact on our skin, but they do. So
Mhm.
protect your sleep. It can be very hard for women in perimenopause, just like me. Like you can get up in the middle of the night and not always get back to sleep,
Yeah.
but you want to do everything that you can to get the best sleep that you can. And then also, I would watch ultra processed foods, and those
Oh,
should
yeah.
be in limited amounts. And really focus on a whole food diet. That doesn't mean you can't have cake. It doesn't mean you can't have wine. It's not that. It just is
Yeah.
focused the bigger picture on your diet because you're likely going to be experiencing gut changes that
Mhm.
women don't always connect to perimenopause. And it's going to also have an effect on your skin as well.
And I wanted to highlight that we had a sleep specialist on MenoLabs Live, and she shared how to get back to sleep and some kind of ideas for, getting better rest during perimenopause and menopause. So you can watch the replay on our YouTube. But I love those examples; they're really great, and we do need to focus on sleep and diet so much. If you have any questions, let me see. I don't think I saw any questions in here. Let's go through. I don't see any questions, but if you guys have any questions that weren't answered and that you didn't feel comfortable maybe asking, you can reach out to our customer care team at customercare@menolabs.com. Susan, thank you so much for being with us. This has been so amazing. I love going into your product and also ideas for our skin during midlife and when we get dry during the winter months. So I hope that these tips help everyone. As always, this session should not be considered medical advice. It is being provided for information purposes only. It is not intended to substitute professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Please consult with your healthcare provider should you have any questions or concerns. Happy Menopause Awareness Month to everyone. Look forward to sharing this replay on our YouTube, so stay tuned. Got a lot of great information, and thank you again, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.